Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The single best idea deep into 2025. It is amazing how we move forward headline to headline. Thank you to Bloomberg's world-class headline team invented by Matthew Winkler pushing 30 years ago, maybe more than 30 years ago now. There's regular headlines. There's headlines I never see. There's things we call a red sticky, which is a bright red headline that comes out, and the market churns and moves off of these. It's just no other way to put it as well. We tried to recalibrate on this Friday. We did with John Stoltzfus, the bull of Oppenheimer, and he was adamant. He reaffirms, because of America's innovation, a bull market.
I still push against it, and I think that the reason why is where we are today is we are at a watershed period of innovation that can drive all sectors here. And it's not just about tech. It's about what tech can do for the Utes. It's what it can do for healthcare. It's what it can do for repurposing buildings and real estate, for finding resources in consumer staples, designing products for consumer discretionary. This is a very, what is it? The Chinese curse is, may you live in interesting times. But the other side of it, for the optimists, interesting times can produce not just risks, but can also produce opportunities. And when we look in hindsight, because I've been in this business for over 40 years. It's going to be 42 sometime between May and July.
Oh, you're a new kid.
God bless me. Anyway, the thing is, I've been through every boom, bust, and recovery cycle. And generally, when we look back, hindsight in perfection says, gosh, if only we'd bought more, if only we'd backed up the truck when people get so negative.
John Stoltzfus of Oppenheimer, and I can't say enough about not only the Daily Newt, but just the simple equity literature out of Oppenheimer, and including that of their securities research as well. Just any number of guests that we talked to today about all going on in Washington. One of the hallmarks of what we do is to try to go to the source. On trade, the modern source is a quiet professor out of Hanover, New Hampshire. His name is Douglas Irwin, and he's one of these kids that came out of a PhD program years ago and made a stunning, immediate splash with his book, Against the Tide. It is the modern history of trade. I've read it cover to cover. You know what? It's a little bit of heavy reading. There's not a lot of pictures to, put it out. It's not going to be a Netflix show, but it is the Bible on free trade. Again, Against the Tide. We talked to Professor Irwin of Dartmouth College about Mr. Trump's affiliation with Mr. McKinley of the 19th century.
Well, it's interesting you bring up John Stuart Mill, because we're talking about the 19th century. And of course, he refers to William McKinley quite a bit, another 19th century president who imposed tariffs to try to keep industries here in the United States. You can do it sometimes, but the cost can be very high. Many countries around the world try to reshore industries. So Argentina has a little bastion of manufacturing in Tierra del Fuego, of all places, that they've inculcated with tax subsidies and import tariffs. So you can reshore some industries, but the question is, at what price, at what cost to other sectors of the economy, and is it really worth it?
Doug Irwin of Dartmouth, again, with an important foreign affairs article with Chad Bone of the Peterson Institute. I'll try to get that out on social this weekend. Look for me on LinkedIn and Twitter. There's the social. Actually, to be honest, folks, I've just dropped Instagram. I've just given up. It's just too noisy and too many distractions in that. I've really focused in on Twitter and LinkedIn to get the articles out and the essays, the stuff we read here at Bloomberg Surveillance. This is a podcast, and the best place is YouTube Podcasts. Can't say enough about a premium subscription to YouTube. That's what I do. And it is single best idea.